Yo, what's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome back. Today we're working on my TV tracking website. I call it a website because I'm looking at it in the browser, but it's not really anywhere public, so calling it a website might be a little bit aggressive. But the goal here is I have lots of TV shows that I want to watch. I like watch a season of them, say I like them, completely forget about them later, and then like find out like 4 seasons later that I missed a bunch, and I have to go back, and then I have to be like, where did I watch? I can't remember. And so what we have here is I'm watching some show. I write down every time I watch where was I? And then when new episodes pop up, they show up in this like next to watch thing with like a little bit of like a progress bar of like how much I've actually seen. And I can like export ratings. So I say like, oh, I like these shows. These ones are like fun to watch, but they're shit. Or like this one just made me say we. Like, I have like you put them into categories and I can share those with my friends, whatever. And today I wanted to look at this page in particular feels pretty slow to load because there's like a metric fuck ton of images, right? And if I like refresh the page, or sorry, if I like refresh it with no caching, it takes like that was like a 1.6 second load time. And I feel like that's not necessary. I feel like the like actual data speed is like should be significantly faster than that. And I suspect it's because we're doing a lot of these like small like 20 kilobyte file transfers, and I suspect, I could be wrong, but I suspect that would be way faster if you could somehow like bundle those up into one like super image, right? And so I was considering like, well, what if we like took the images and we like stuck them in a tar and zipped them and then sent them over the network or something, or even if we just tarred them, that's probably pretty good because PNGs are like compressed already. But then that doesn't really seem reasonable. I was like looking around. It doesn't seem like that's like something that people do. But something that people do yeah, is they take a bunch of images and they put them into like one mega image. They call it like a sprite sheet, right? Like in the same way when you're making like a 2D game, you have like your character animations and you like put your character in, you put like in the top pixels, we have like this move, and like then you put another one next to it, and then you just like sample from that like big texture which part of your animation you want or whatever. You can do the same thing with images in CSS where you can say, hey, I'm going to provide you a large image and I want you to sample that image in a certain area and display that instead. And so I wanted to see if we did that, would my load times be better? And so the plan for today is to try to like generate a like maybe we split up the images by like maybe we group them in some way and send out like batches of 100 or something, or maybe we just put them all together, find some way to like staple all of the images into one big image, and try to see if that's better. And then we also have to like look at each of these posters and make sure that they like sample from the right spot, which means that we're going to have some sort of metadata that like ties back like the image that we actually tried to get to where in this like big image canvas it actually lives. So I suspect that that's at least an hour of work. I guess we'll see. Yeah, that's the plan. And so I think the first thing we want to do is figure out how the fuck do we generate this like mega image. And I think what we're gonna do, I guess I should probably write down what is our tech stack that we're using so that people who are coming in later know what the fuck's going on. Surfer in Rust with Tide. Content scraped from TV Maze. And client is raw dog JavaScript. Okay. And then I guess because I added text, we need to make this a little smaller. Cool. Okay, so somewhere in our code, surely somebody's looking for an image. And I guess where we can look at this, we can just look. So he says image source images 145. So presumably 145 is an image ID. I know I'm saying presumably, which is like acting like somebody else wrote this. Surely I should know the answer to this, but like I don't remember really, so I'm trying to like get my head back into the space. So probably what happens if we go to images, we probably get like a list of all possible images. The server's not even running, so that won't work. But this gives us Nothing. Nothing. Okay, so maybe we don't have, like, maybe it's not like a nice little REST API. What about, like, if I look for images? Yeah, we just have images ID. We don't have a root images API, which probably means that, like, each show probably embeds, like, an image ID with him or something. Probably if I look at, like, shows, if I remember correctly. Let's go to shows. So each of these guys, yeah, he's got an image number associated with them. So if I want to see like this TV show Warrior, he has image ID 1. And he's not flagged reasonably as a PNG, probably. So this is just like downloading an image. But he downloaded as 1. And can I like open this in an image viewer? Okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, we've got like we understand where it's going. So this goes into get image. This guy says, hey, application, could you get that image? And so this is now, we have this like kind of architected as, you know, you have like server and he does like only HTTP shit, right? And then he goes and talks to like an app, which is like actual work. And if I remember correctly, he talks to like a database and also talks to like internet to like scrape new shows and like update the database and stuff. But this is like, you know, we try to split it up so that if we want to swap out the server layer later, it's like really easy because this is just all we have to do is like swap out the HTTP library or yeah, HTTP, I guess. He's not HTML aware. He's JSON aware. Okay, anyways, unrelated. So this guy says, hey, database, could you tell me what image this like fucking number is? Because presumably this is just this is like a strong typed I64. Okay, so he's like, hey, I have like an image ID, and what is the URL associated with that? And so we like look up at the database, I guess, where that image comes from, and then we take that URL and we feed it into our image cache. Right. So if we look in like cache, we have all of these URLs encoded in a way that they can sit on our file system, and then we just load them back. Okay, seems reasonable. So I guess if we wanted to generate like a mega image that was a bunch of them stapled together, you would have like some API that instead of, we probably want to keep like the original images around. Like the ability to get into images one by one seems pretty reasonable. Because like if I go into like a page for like a specific TV show, fucking server's not running, so I can't click that right now. Hold on. If I go here, like it seems reasonable. Like this guy downloading like the whole, like all posters doesn't seem reasonable. I guess if the batch was small enough, it might be reasonable because like you might want the browser to make sure, like the browser will cache the images for you. So if you like go to like the main page and you download all the posters, then like maybe it doesn't make sense to download the poster again when you click on this. I don't know. I'm going to leave the original API there though, because I think it seems reasonable. And maybe we'll add an API that's like, pub function get merge image. Okay. And I wonder what the input to this should be. Maybe for now we'll just say we're not going to do any batching or anything. We're just going to make one mega image, and it's going to have every single image inside it. Which is like kind of fucking stupid, but is like a good kind of first attempt, right? So I don't really think I'm going to keep it that way. But I probably will try that first. And I guess for now, we will just not worry about error handling, and we'll just crash in any case where it doesn't work. And what does this guy do? So I guess we're going to want to like walk the database, get all of the images that we could possibly know about, allocate a canvas that's big enough for that, and then stitch them together. Maybe? Seems reasonable. So maybe we go in here. Well, first I guess we could check if there's a function that exists. I wish there was like, I always struggle with like browsing my own code like this, because like all of the like in C you have like headers where you just happen to have to like write all of your function declarations in one spot, but not have to like intersparse the code. I guess you can do like cargo doc all, and then one of the many things that this will generate documentation for is like my own classes, and I can just browse function names there. I don't know if that's like the way to do it. I guess like I've seen people use like Vim folds as well, where I can say like, okay, please collapse everything that's not like below a certain level. But maybe this will do what I want good enough. I should have started this in another terminal though, because it's fucking slow. So we can probably like browse while this happens, you know. We don't have to wait for, dude, 451 crates is crazy. It's a lot of crates. Oh, we there? Okay, we got there. So cargo doc all open, and hopefully this opens nice, and I can look at my database. Do you use LSP? There's a workspace symbols feature. Oh, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, there's probably some Vim plugin I could use that like pops open a sidebar with all of the function declarations. Yeah, that probably exists, and I'll probably have to look at that at some point. Okay, so I have my database, and what does he have on him? Get show, find show. I want like maybe like image. Yeah, it does look like the only thing that I have here is get image URL. So on making a new implementation to iterate all the images seems reasonable. So I can put it next to get image URL, and I can say web function get images. And I guess maybe the thing that we're doing right now is not generating a mega image, but we're actually first, before we do that, we are trying to walk all images, or list all images. Sure. So he is going to take in a reference to self, and he's going to return, I guess, like a vector of image IDs. And I guess we don't just want the image IDs. We probably want the image IDs and the URL. Right, because it seems silly to like hit the database again to grab the URL when we don't need to. We can just grab it now. And I guess we're going to have to look at like what the fuck is in this thing. So like, I don't know what the table looks like. I guess we can look at create table images. He has ID and URL. Simple. Simple. So you can say select ID URL from images. Boom. Done. Easy. And then I guess we say we don't even have to prepare. I think you just like execute like this, and we have no parameters. Okay. And does execute give us back? Oh no, I think I do. Maybe I do need to make a statement and then run query rows, I guess. So we have our statement. We say statement query map query. Sure, query. What are we querying? We're querying with no parameters. Do I have telescope? Yep. Sure do. Oh, is that one of the... Are you going to tell me that telescope has like a... Like one of the things that it has is like LSP workspace symbols. And I can then look at symbols in db.rs. But I guess this doesn't show me like... I want like the member functions of the database. So I'm going to say telescope. Oopsies. Telescope is one of these many things like document symbols, types. But I can search for image. Ah, yeah, that's not bad. I'll probably just have to add a keybind for that. That's really that's super sick. Yeah, that's like exactly what I wanted. Because then I can like search them too. So I can just say like, what do we do with images in this document? That's sick. That's sick. Good to know. Okay. So let rows is equal to this unwrapped, I guess. And then like while let sum rows equal to rows next or something. What does rows next return? It's a result option. All right, so we'll assume that it passes for now. And this should be, that's fine. Yeah, and we have like our output is some vector, and then we return the output at the end. And then we just go over this thing and we say let image ID is an image ID row get 0. And the URL is row.get1, and then we can return, or we can say output push image ID and row, or URL. Easy. Which he doesn't like because this guy shouldn't be wrapped in image ID, obviously. Okay, simple. So we can go back to our application and say, here, we're going to look at the database, and we're just going to say, hey, could you get us all the images? Let images equal to db get images, get images. Okay. And he doesn't need to unwrap because the unwraps are done inside. Okay. And then I guess we can just look through and say, well, let's maybe just print them for now. Let's just see what we get. Brownhound, subscribe with Prime. Hey, thanks for the Prime. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Hello. And I guess for now we just won't return anything. And I guess we need some way to trigger this code path. So maybe we go into the server. And for now we do something like image canvas. Image canvas? That doesn't sound right. Image sprite sheet. I don't know. It doesn't fucking matter. Poster. Posters merged. Get posters merged. Images merged. Okay. That seems reasonable. So some function, get images merged. We'll put them next to get image. And we'll say get images merged. It's going to take in some sort of request. Sure. And he's going to return some sort of response. Sure. And we're going to call. I guess we're just going to say, like, can I just, like, return, like, okay 200? I seem to remember some way to be able to return, like, just, like, a status code here. This, just tied result status code. Yeah. So we'll do this for now. And boom. We'll just return 200 with no fucking content. Because I am only trying to trigger the code path for now. I'm not actually trying to do anything with it. So the request is completely fucking ignored. And we're going to say this is get merged image or something. Oh, I do need to pull out the application from the state. Okay. Get merged image. Okay. So if I run this guy, I already forgot the name of the API. It was images merged. So if I run this guy, I should be able to say, go here and say images merged. And that should trigger a print of every image ID to its URL. Great. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. So now what? We need to like take that image and turn it into something, or take these images and turn it into something. So we can probably reuse the same code that like caches all of the URLs. Great. And we can just load them from the cache or retrieve them if they need to be retrieved. So we can say what? For image ID and is it image ID? Yeah, image ID and URL in images. we are going to do something. We're first surely gonna have to get the image in some way. Surely. So like an unwrap probably for now. So let image data is equal to this. What is this self.inner? Why is he like this? Oh, because it's an arc inner? I see. Probably because this is shared with some, yeah, it's shared with some thread or something. Sure, okay. So we have image data, and we're gonna make some sort of image. So I guess we need to know its size. What's weird here is they're not all, like, what if they're not the same size? What do we do in that case? We kind of want to take the image and just, like, slot it into the next spot that makes sense. So I wonder if we can, like, retrieve all the images from the cache, check the maximum height, and then just put them all next to each other widthwise. And then if there's wasted space, there's wasted space. I don't really give a fuck. You could even maybe get crazy and then sort them by height, and then you could like probably intelligently pack them that way. But I'm not going to do that because I'm sure that the wasted space is not a big deal. Well, I guess I'm not sure. I guess we'll try it and we'll see if the wasted space is a big deal or not. Okay. So I guess let's see what like dependencies we have here. No wonder we have so many, like 400 crates in our tree. That's a lot of dependencies. And I think we're gonna want the image crate to help us manipulate, create, and consume images. Yeah, this is the right one. So this is image is equal to 0248. And I guess we're gonna parse the image. Yeah, we're gonna read the image. Load from memory. Image load from memory. And we're gonna look at the buffer that we just got, image data, which is, I actually don't know what the type of this. Why is my index there? No client attached? Did my LSP crash? No. Why is it telling me it's broken? I guess we'll just restart. I don't know. It's weird. Weird. Okay. So he's telling me to borrow, sure. Because this is probably a vector. Hello, let me jump to definition. It's probably just railing my CPU right now or something. Yeah, okay, there we go. So he returns a vector. Yeah. So we can say, what is this thing? This is an image result dynamic image. So we'll just assume that every image is valid for now, which might not be true, but for now we can just hope. And what does this guy... so we can convert his color space. Can I just look at his size for now? I can. Nice. So I can say image width. So we're probably gonna like try to like track the maximum width and the maximum height. And we'll just say these are gonna be mutable. And we'll say max width is equal to something. Image width dot max width or something. Yeah, that seems reasonable. And we're gonna do the same for height. And now we can say, what is my max width and height? Max width, max height. Okay. We take in max width. I guess we can even put them in line. Write them in here. Wow. All right. I guess it needs to compile all of the dependencies of the image crate now, I guess. Gross. Give it a sec. Give them some time to think, you know? Okay. Now I'm going in here, and I'm going to refresh, and we should see some text printed. No? Oh, this is taking a long time, I guess. Why? What is he doing that's taking so long? Let's print line the image ID. And we can get crazy and throw a little \r in there so that it overwrites itself. And maybe we print his URL as well. Let's say something like image ID URL. And that should give us a clue. He doesn't like that, right, because I can't put this. Can I put image ID.0 in these curly braces, or does it not parse that correctly? Yeah, it doesn't like that. So here I actually have to say image ID 0 on the outside. Give him a sec. And now when I refresh, that \r was doing jack shit. Oh, because I did print line instead of print. I just wanted to see, I wanted to see it fancy like, you know? Yeah, that's cool. This is just taking a long time to iterate all the images, which is maybe a bit of a clue about why this thing was taking so long in the first place. But we do eventually get there, and we have our max width 300, max height 475. I wonder if that's, like, consistent. Like, what is the size of this guy? Fuck. He fucking downloads because he's not flagged properly. Like, what is the size of this? This is 200 by 300. So we would be wasting, like, a fair amount of space if that was the case. Maybe for now. I wonder if, like, the TV sizes and the movie poster sizes are, like, kind of different. So we could, for now, filter this by saying, we select the ID and URL from the images, left join, from, I guess we do it from shows, from the TV shows. Yeah, that sounds right. Which is probably called shows, left join images on shows.image equals images.id. Here we probably have to disambiguate with images dot. And now we should only get images. Now we should only get the ones for we should only get images associated with TV shows, not the ones associated with movies, which should help. Maybe. We'll see. This also might fail. We might crash here if I type that wrong. Where we go to images merged. And we sure did crash because there's no such column shows.image. So what is it fucking called? Create table shows. And he has... oh, great. Image ID. Image ID, I see. So it shows image ID. Let's try that again. Try it again. Okay, so that's working fine. And the width 210 by 295. So does that line up with what we saw for this? Is that like more reasonable? Yeah, it looks like they're all the same size for images-ish. Or Arcane was the max size. Maybe they're all the same size as Arcane, but smaller. Okay, but that's fine. That's fine. So, we have our max width, the max height. And I guess we probably want to avoid loading the images multiple times. So, let's just hope for now that we can fit all of the images in memory at once. I assume we can. They're not very big. But fix me. Should we just store all images at once? Probably the later version of this will like cache all of this stuff. It'll probably be like a expensive operation that's done one time and then like stored on disk. So probably spending a lot of time in this function one time is not the end of the world. If it only has to update when we add new shows or something, like that's an infrequent case, so it's not the end of the world. Images, push, image. Okay. Yeah. So now we know our max width and our max height, and we have all the images loaded, and so now we can... why isn't it like this? Oh, because... Fuck. I see. We'll call this loaded images, because we're name colliding. Consider cloning the value of performance costs acceptable, because image has type dynamic image, which does not implement... What's it saying? Does not implement what? Does not implement copy? But I don't need it to copy. Oh, because I did it right. I can do it here. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we have our width and height, and so we can say that we want to create a new image that is... I guess we don't need to track, we only need to track either the max width or max height. Because if you put all of the images side by side, you can have like something that's like, you know, if you have like images like this, and like some of them are too short, that's okay. So we need to allocate like a height for the whole image that's large enough, right? But if these guys are like different widths, it doesn't matter. We'll just like put like empty space underneath. So really we only have to track the like start pixel of each image. Okay. So we're actually not going to just push the image. We're going to push the image as well as its current width, or start px. And we'll say let mute current width equal to 0 is where he starts. And we just put in current width. And then we say current width plus equals image.width. Yes. Okay. So now we just need to allocate an image that is... At the end of this loop, we're going to have like how wide the whole image has to be. So we can say like, I want an image that is that wide and max height tall. So maybe let's just quickly print out print line max or current width times max height is equal to current width times max height. Because I just want to make sure that like if I do an allocation here for that size, it's not going to like fucking blow up my computer. I assume it's fine, but the consequences are frustrating. So, one sec. We have to not use the image again after you push it. So we have to cache this value here, then push it, then add it here with the cached version. Okay. Caching is strong. Stick it in a variable. Okay, we're running. Refresh. We're iterating over shit. And it's this large. And so what is this? That's actually pretty big. 1, 2, 3. 1.1 megabyte? Is that it? This is 1, 3, 6, 12 megabytes times 4. So like maybe because 4 bytes per pixel. So that's not that bad. 48 megabytes, that's doable. I doubt that's going to cause any problems. Like free, I have 10 gigs available, so yeah, I don't imagine this will be a problem. It's just because if I then like my stream is going to be like a fucking disaster. The video is going to get corrupted. It's just like a pain in the ass. But I think it's fine. So let canvas is equal to, maybe we'll even just put a hard limit just in case. So we'll say max canvas size is equal to 100M. And I can't just write an M here. I have to say 100 There. Max canvas size bytes. This will be a const. And we can say if current width times current height times something. Well, I guess we have to figure out what we're allocating. What is like? I'm sure that the image crate lets me make images. I just need to figure out you know what it is. So we'll probably just do a RGB image. We probably don't need alpha for these posters, so RGB image seems fine. And so maybe each of these images that we save should actually to RGB 8. Right? If we convert them all into RGB 8 beforehand, then all of the formats will line up. And we can do something like create one of these guys. So can we make let's see. So I can create this from raw, which is a container with deref target subpixel. So I guess here we make an image buffer with the container. So does it know if the container can be like extended? It doesn't even know if the container is like a vector or anything. Unless it specializes. Yeah, I guess I need to pre-allocate the right size because they have like put pixels. Okay, sure, whatever. So vec u8 RGB u8, where RGB u8 is a pixel format. I see. Yes. Okay, this makes sense. So each pixel is 3 u8s, and we have a vector of u8 that is those 3 u8s kind of back to back to back. So for each image, so I guess we'll just pre-allocate that thing. So the vector output is going to be a new vector. Cool. And he's actually going to be something like, he's going to be filled with zeros. He's going to be 3 times current width times max height. Yup. And so we'll just say let vec size bytes is equal to this. And we'll say if vec size bytes is greater than max canvas size bytes, fucking panic. Too big frowny face. Okay. And this should also be a U size. As U size. Okay. Now we can put the vec size bytes over here, and we have a canvas to work with. Okay. So now we need to inject each of these images at their like corresponding width. So we can say for image image x pause in loaded images. We are going to try to copy the image row by row, I guess, into its corresponding spot. So we'll say like image dot width, let source width is this. Okay. Image dot as. Okay, oh, let's see. I'm assuming that we can't like iterate, we can't like easily mem copy this guy. Rows mute. Okay. So what is this rows mute guy? Pixels. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna work with raw because I don't really want to look up all these things. I know what I want. So we'll say like source image dot as raw, which gives me the container. So this is going to be a slice of U8, it should be. I think. If I understand this correctly, this should be a slice of U8. Yep. Source image raw, we'll call it. And we want to chunk these into source width. So we can say source image raw dot windows. The windows overlap. No, I want chunks of source width times 3. So this will give me, this should give me the image height. Should. Right, so this should give me row by row of the source image. So we can do a quick little check here. So we can say let, is chunks an iterator? Returns an iterator of chunk size elements over the slice at a time. Okay, sure, whatever. That's fine. And then we can say the destinations of this thing are going to be our output from the X position times current, no. Let me think about this. X position plus the Y position. So we can do something like for Y, let source row iter is equal to this. And we can use for Y in source row iter enumerate. Right? Oops. So, sorry, like this. And this is Y row. Okay, and the dest data is going to be something like output of Y times current width plus X pause. To that plus the source width. So we can say let dest start is equal to this shit. Yeah. And the dest end is equal to dest start plus source width. Yes, the width of the image we're copying in. And so the dest data is going to be this, like, dest start, dest end. Yes, yes, yes. And we can just say copy. Okay. We can say dest data copy from slice. I thought that's going to work, but that's not working for some reason. I don't know why. Because these guys have unresolved types, so. Just have to do some conversions. Okay, and I think that's working fine now. And then maybe at the end of this, we write the image out to somewhere just to, you know, see. So we can say image. What is it? RGB8 image. RGB image from raw, where the width is current width, the height is max height, and the buffer is the output. Okay? And we can try writing that somewhere. Merged. Use like save image, save buffer with format. Seems right. Save buffer. So here we want like image format PNG. Sick. Okay. But I guess save buffer will derive the correct image format based off the extension. So that's fine. You can say save buffer to merged PNG. The buffer is Oh, we don't actually need to create this. We can just take the buffer. So the buffer is output. Width is current width. Height is max height. And the color type is color type RGB8. Okay. There's like a real chance that works. That'd be kind of cool if it did. So if I go and refresh this page, we see some progress, and then we see a crash. So source slice length 630 does not match destination slice length 610. Okay, so we fucked something up. At line 430, so dest end should be source width. Ah, we forgot. We forgot that we are copying 3 bytes of data per. Right? It's R, G, and B, not just one of them. So now we load all the images from disk. It looks like it's generating an image. This is taking some time, but it did it. And now if we look at this guy, oh, fuck. We see, definitely not right. Right? We're definitely seeing that the X position is not being updated correctly. There's a bunch of times 3s that we forgot to do, probably. Right? So we forgot that the dest start is Y times current width times 3 plus the X position times 3, because everything is a multiple of 3. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. And so this guy spends some time, and I think he's still working, because there we go. It looks like he finished. And if I refresh, there we go. Okay. So we now have one uber mega image of all shows. Pretty sick. Pretty sick. Pretty sick. Okay. So now, somehow, we're going to have to expose that information to the client, right? What's that information? The information of which image is associated with which mega image. But I guess maybe it would also be, before we get there, maybe we want to see how long it takes just to load this one image, right? Because if it's way less than 1.2 seconds, we're kind of like on the right track. So what we should do here is we should maybe try to cache it so that we can get like a reasonable like estimation of time. So we're just gonna cheat, and we're gonna say if stood fs is there no like exists? I thought there was exists in Rust. Stood path f try exists only nightly only. Okay, so I guess I just need to create the path and say exists. Okay, so if merge.png turn into a path. I always forget if I can construct a path from, it's path new. Path new, yep, okay. Exists. Does new not work? Why is this not? Unresolved, oh, stood path, okay, sure. Then we load it and return it. So this is going to return evacuate, and we're going to say, if you exist, open it, read, merge png. Can we just return that? I assume read turns evacuate. Yeah, it does. Sick. And otherwise we do this. Okay. And then in our server, we say get merged image. we are now going to return a tied body. The body is going to be from bytes of the app get merged image. Okay, and we're going to return the body. And now, what I'm not sure about here is, I've been annoyed by the fact that it's not displaying in the browser, so it'd be nice to know if I could flag the type of the response. So surely, oops. Surely, I guess actually I have the documentation locally. Why am I grabbing it from the internet? So we can look at body, tied body, and can I like add a header? Oh, maybe I want response. Tied response. And I can probably make a builder that I can provide a body. Yeah, okay. I see. So here, instead of a body, I'd say I want a tied response to go out. And then I say let response is equal to tied response builder. Do I need to create him? Here, response builder with status 200. We succeeded. And one of the things we do is we pass in the body. Great. But we might also want to say we might also want to set the header. So content type is tied mime. What is this? Tied mime. Where is mime in here? Tied. Oh, I can just set it on the body. Okay, I don't need to do all this. I don't need to do all this. So I take the body and I just say body set mime to, and it looks like it comes from HTTP types, I think. Is that? Mime, right? It looks like this is where it comes from. But then how come like, so if I say tied body set mime. Oh, does he like re-export HTTP types or something? I want like an example of calling set mime into mime. Ah, I see. So we can say like image PNG. Nice. Yeah, okay. Seems reasonable. Seems reasonable. So let's see if this is fast now. Okay, so that was fucking quick. Right? 160 milliseconds versus the like 1.2 seconds it took before when we were loading it from like the main page. So I think that this is like a good indication that we are on the right path. For sure. 23 megabytes. Big picture. And it looks like if I clear cache refresh, it's fine. It doesn't look like there's any difference there. Oh, I can disable cache to refresh. Yeah, it's fine. It's no biggie at all. Okay. Cool. So assuming that we cache it, we can now just like load this thing, and we probably need to cache like his IDs as well as the positions. So that gets kind of fucky wucky. Because if I want to like request from the server, hey, which like where are the like indexes of image IDs in this image? I would have to like issue a request to get some JSON that would tell me like the positions of each thing. But then if I issue then issue a request for the image, what if it doesn't match? Right? What if in the middle of that somebody was like, hey, I wanted to add a TV show, and so now like there's a new one, and so like that's kind of fucky wucky, but I think I'll ignore that for now. Just ignore the problem and it doesn't exist, because we're just right now we're trying to decide does it work. So I think maybe we will expose the metadata. That seems like the next thing to do, because we can't integrate it until we know where the images are supposed to live. So we can say we are at 54. We're at 55 minutes. And so I guess we just need to make a new function, whatever. Images merged, metadata. Okay. And this is going to take in the same shit, but he's going to return in some JSON or return some JSON. Noise. Okay. And he's going to say, like, when we get the merged image, we're gonna let's see, get merged image. Maybe the get merged image is gonna return both a PNG as well as a like hash map of image ID to pixel offset. Right? Sure, fuck it. And in that case, we are going to have to cache that as well. So we'll fix this up. You know, this is experimental code, so this isn't where it's going to live in the real version of this if it works, but we will just shove it in merge.json. So we can look at merged. Let the metadata path is equal to stood path new merge JSON, and we'll call it the let image path is equal to stood path new merge.png. And here we use image path and metadata path exists. We return this and the metadata is equal to Serde JSON from. Is there like a utility function to just like read from a file for me so I don't have to worry about it? If I don't want to think. Oops, wrong thing. Where is my docs? Here. Is one of the things that he has just like from path? No, he only has from reader, which is reasonable. That's a very reasonable thing for him to do. So it'll say stood fs stood file fs file. There we go. I guess it's open options. I think, well, for read, I think we just do file. So we can do file, open the metadata path. And then you can stick it in a stood IO buff reader to make him go zoom like. And then we can say from reader F. And certainly there's going to be some unwraps that we need to sprinkle around here. Okay. Then we can return image metadata. Okay. And then now we have to generate the metadata. So I think we already have it, actually. We have the images as somewhere we put the loaded images. Yeah. So this is this loaded images into iter collect should give me the right type. But it doesn't. Because loaded images is wrong. Loaded images is has the content, but I want like the index. So we can say let loaded images into iter. We enumerate this guy, and then we map the data as well as the offset. which is also going to be associated with an index. Then we get the image ID by saying images I 0 and the offset. Load time of what web pages? So specifically my TV tracker. Sorry, I scrolled down on this thing when I shouldn't have. But we're trying to reduce the load time of. I can't load it because it's not running. Fuck. Cargo run. He doesn't compile, so I can't show you right now. But like the list of TV shows, there's like 100 movie posters or 100 posters, one for each show. Loading each one individually seems to take a long time. So we're trying to like merge them together to get one big image, which, according to our like initial test, looks like it'll be a lot faster. Yeah. So we'll say let metadata is equal to this. And then we return the metadata. And then we also have to cache this. A value of this cannot be built of that. Cargo check. Can I? Item equals image ID U size. Oh, it's U32. God damn it. Sure, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't fucking matter. Okay. And so now I need to save the metadata as well. So we need to say let can we just like let f is equal to stud fs. Nope. Yes, open options. New. Write. True. Create. True. Truncate. True. Open the metadata file. Metadata path. We want to make this mutable, and we want to say serde JSON to writer f. And probably we need to take in also the value. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. What's it bitching about now? What doesn't it like there? He doesn't like that IO_write is not implemented for result because I didn't hit unwrap on this guy. Unwrap him, baby. And now we should be chilling. So now when we call this the first time, he should generate the metadata. And then when he loads on the second time, he should get it. And now we just need to fix in the server. As far as I know, this goes against web dev wisdom. You want them to actually load incrementally in parallel instead of all of them at once much later once the sprite sheet finishes downloading. So I think probably batching them is going to make sense because we want to exploit parallelism in some way probably. But also so Firefox seems to be like limiting the number of requests that I can make by default to like 6 in parallel. And I also think that there's a lot of the HTTP overhead versus the image size is like very aggressive. Like I think it's like a lot of HTTP per image. So I think there's like a lot of latency going on in there. So I'm pretty sure that it will be faster this way. The initial benchmark was like what, 6 times faster overall. But we'll see. We'll see. It could probably be even faster if we parallelize that in some way. But maybe not, right? Like if we're saturating the connection with one thread, why would we need more threads? Right? But maybe. Who knows? Okay, so this guy is going to set the thing from the data. And here we're going to get the metadata. So we're going to do the same shit where we get the merge image, but we're going to return the metadata instead. And can we just say that we return that? Does everything happen to metadata is equal to this? And I guess we have to turn it into a serde JSON value. So we say serde JSON from value. And we return the return. Arguments of this function are not correct. Why the fuck not? Why not? Cargo check. What's it complaining about? Can I not from, or can I do like metadata try into dot unwrap or something? Am I high? Like, I feel like I just wrote out something over here where I just used the metadata as is. Is there no way for me to, where certy JSON, can I not like create one of these guys from something? Value, can I not like, how do I make one of these guys? How do I make them in the other guy? Somewhere I'm already doing this. To value. It's to value. Of course. Of course. Okay. So now this guy should run. No, because there's a lot of borrowing issues here, of course. So he doesn't like that this is reused, so we'll just say we borrowed him here instead. Put a deref on this guy, I guess. Images is already moved, so probably up here we need to borrow images. And everything else I think is chilling. Okay, so if I go over here and I say, what is the metadata here? He has to generate the image again because the metadata JSON wasn't cached, but hopefully on second run, it will be much faster. Okay, so we have my pixel offsets of each image ID in here. Great, and if I refresh, it's fast. Very fast. And if I go back to images merged, this is still coming up fine. Okay, so looks like metadata is available. And now we just have to go into our like actual web site code and switch it up. So I think that this guy will automatically reload changes to the client. So I think that I can run him in one screen and then use him from the other, or edit in the other, I should say. So I'm looking for like shows. It's watch list maybe? Yeah, here we go, watch list. Okay. Okay. So how the fuck does this shit work? We'll find out. So somewhere, we are constructing these posters. This has nothing and it's like base HTML, so we must be injecting it in JavaScript. And watch item page render. We group the shows by rating. If we're in the shows, we tag on the thing. How do we like render by group? This is probably where the render items, probably. And render card element. Ah. So this guy creates the show card is what we're calling it, and he's slapped around all over the place. And here he sets the source to images plus show image. So we just need to change this from that to our other thing. Okay. So takes in the show as well as where to link to. And it looks like he is now going to also need the image offsets. Okay. That seems reasonable. And I guess he doesn't just need the offsets. He might also need their sizes too. But we'll experiment with just hard coding the size for now, just as our initial, just for the initial state. Okay. So he is now going to be instead of pulling from images, he's going to get images merged, probably. Yeah, images merged. And we're not going to add anything. But we are going to need to set some CSS attributes on this guy, which I don't know how to do in JavaScript right this second. But also, let's just see what happens if I just refresh right now. Like, how fucked is like what we have? Oh, that's really funny. They're in here. You can see them. They're really small because the width is fixed. So they just all show nothing. Okay, so now we have to look at like CSS style sheets. Nope. CSS. What am I fucking? Of course, style sheets. Sprite sheet. Image sprites. Okay, so we set left and width. Is that right? No. Background 0, 0. Okay. Defines the background image and its position. Left 0, 0. Only defines a small transparent image because the source attribute cannot be empty. The displayed image will be the background image we specify in CSS. Oh, that's so fucked. Okay, so we need to create a transparent image that is actually used, and then we put behind that image something. Does it even need to be an image then? Maybe, okay, whatever. So we set the background. So I guess we need a like empty image dot png. And can I like just, I don't want to like fuck around with generating one of these, like empty image png download. I don't know, like someone create an empty png 0 by 0. Ugh. 0 by 0 transparent image. I don't know. It doesn't fucking matter. Can do it SVG. There's a PNG. Ugh. Fine, sure. We'll say res empty image.svg. Empty image.svg. Okay. And is that gonna work? If I look at my server, is it going to serve that file? So he tries to match everyone else, I think, and then I think that he looks at the data path. Yeah, so he just serves the data path, and the data path is probably res. So I think we're chilling. Well, he's probably in res client. ls res client. Yeah, that looks more right. So we're gonna move res empty image to res client. There we go. And now that should work. We should end up with an empty SVG. And then we need to set the background to whatever. And we need to set the width. I think it was 210 by 245. I think. How do I image? How do I just see like how big my picture is? Properties. Like, where does it just tell me where my, like, hello, GIMP? Hello? I just want to like look at image canvas size. 210 by 295. We will just hard code that for now because I'm feeling lazy a little bit. And so the background comes from URL and we are looking at images merge PNG. I think that's what it said to do. And 0, 0. Okay. So now if I refresh this, do I get like inspect image, empty image, width 295. This is height. And it looks like the background thing didn't get set. But we can look. So can inspect, and we can say background is URL images merge PNG 0, 0. And that did jack shit. Oh, because it's not .png, it's just images merged. Of course. I didn't fucking name it. Fuck. Let me edit it. Okay. Wait, okay, so that's working. Just like that's gonna do what I want, I think. It's just always hard-coded at the first one, that's fine. So now we just look at the image offsets. So say let left const left is equal to image offsets image ID show.image. And then we can say plus left plus 0. But it's not set this way, so we have to say what? It's like, is it set attribute style? How do I JavaScript add style? Add CSS styling to element. Style.color. So I just write like .style .background is equal to this. And so right now, if I comment this out and write 0, now if I refresh, they should all end up looking like the same fucking poster. But it's not working. Style background URL is equal to, oh, it's because I wrote .png, which is not correct. All right, that's not bad. Okay, so now I just need to actually figure out the offset. So we can look at watch list, render card element, and he's going to pass in the image offsets, which means that he needs to take in the image offsets, which means that he needs to pass in image offsets, which means this guy needs to take in image offsets. Okay, which means this guy is going to take in this .image offsets. And we're going to have to get them image offsets. Okay, which means that someone is going to have to get them. So image offsets promise is going to be get image offsets. And then we can look at whoever is responsible for, somebody is responsible for getting ratings. So this probably comes from HTTP, and we can say, just like copy paste this and call it get image offsets, and it's going to say like image, what is it called? Like images merged metadata? Yeah. Yup. And he says get, and we try to get the JSON back, sick. And then we say image offsets is from the image offsets promise, like this. And then when we create this thing, we pass in the image offset, which is wrong, just for the record. We should be updating this as we go, but for now, I'm okay with just hard coding it one time. So now we are crashing because get image offsets is not defined. Why? I wonder, oh, because here I need to say I want to get image offsets. Okay. Now ambiguous indirect export get image offsets. So I spelled it wrong. get, where did I call it? Get image offests. Of course. Of course. We'll use the wrong name for now because, again, lazy. Assignment to undeclared variable image offsets. Okay. Because here I need to write image offsets. Okay. Refresh. Are we chilling? Doesn't look like it's working anymore, which is confusing. So let's inspect this guy. And he doesn't have his style set the way I thought he would. So we can look back at our, wherever our render card element is, show card. And what the fuck? What the fuck? So this is only not working after this. So can maybe we look at, can we breakpoint on that guy and see what happens? So we can breakpoint here. Maybe we can breakpoint here. And we can refresh. And can we look at, like, image offsets 1? That's working fine. So, like, what's the problem? I don't understand. If we go next, can we look at, like, poster? Poster. Poster.style.background. Hello? Why did this not do anything? Am I high? Poster. Style. Background. Why does that not apply? Am I high? What the fuck? Refresh. Empty string, empty string, empty string. Oh, interesting. So why is it ever an empty string? Can I... Also, why is it usually an empty string? Was my understanding of what show.image is wrong? Let's go back here. Refresh. Image offsets 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Are these contiguous? Was this a mistake? No, they jump 188 to 41, so that's correct. And show.image is a number, so 560 is one of the things in here, and so left should have a number in here. Okay. Okay, let's console.log. Oops, this. Like, is this string concatenation not doing what I think it should? No, that's working fine. That's making the string that I want. So how come, well, let's just double check. So we're going to say, let background or const background stir is equal to this. I think you need a unit for pixels other than 0. Oh, that would really do it, eh? That would do it. So if I do like to write pixels here. God, you're smart. Now all of these are wrong. Which is a fucking problem. That's confusing. I don't know why they're all wrong. They're also not the right size. But I will note that that felt like it... Oh, that's interesting. Why are they taking so long to... They're all like banding together at the same time. That's really weird. I guess it's loading the image. It's walking the image. And we can like actually see that happening. So somehow that's kind of interesting. So I think we're actually seeing that this, can we go back to like the network timing graph? Here we go. So this is actually back to taking 1.2 seconds, even though loading this itself was only taking 150 milliseconds. So I guess maybe the slowdown is actually from like rendering the content, not from getting the image, which lines up with like us seeing this like slow banding on loading, right? Like it's like trying so hard to render everything together. That's pretty interesting. Oh no, wait, this is now 554, 659, and if I hard refresh, I don't know why it's faster now. But oh no, maybe this was maybe it was always 400 milliseconds. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. It's also interesting that there's like a gap in, how do I go back? Close this. There's like a big gap here that I don't know. Maybe that's like JavaScript time happening between here, like laying out all of the images. 23 megabytes is kind of big. Yeah, I get that. But I mean, we were already loading the 23 megabytes before. All right, that's pretty interesting. So before all of this, can we go back? Git commit -m, git checkout -b, CSS style. No, what's it called? Sprites. We'll commit -m temp and git checkout back one, cargo run. So we are at, 950 milliseconds, I guess. Finish 903 milliseconds. Load 148 milliseconds. We're here. Finish 1.91 seconds. Okay, that is a lot better, to be honest. Like, a lot better. We're down from... We saved, like, just over a second there. So maybe this is worth pursuing. That's having the load time. What if I like hard refresh? It's also kind of weird that it's 4 megabytes transferred before and then 23 megabytes after. There's something fucked up there. Okay, maybe we just keep going down the rabbit hole for a little bit and see. Let's at least try to fix the fact that they're displaying the wrong thing, because there's something wrong there for sure. So can I like rm merge.png merge.json and run this again to try to get to regenerate? Maybe there's like a mismatch between the journey image. Can you step a loading equals lazy on those image tags in the old version? Interesting. Interesting. Never heard of that. But let's check it out. You've piqued my interest. So here we would do like poster.loading equals lazy or something. I guess we will see very quick if that's correct. So here we do have loading equals lazy, and I guess like, can I, like, what does that do? Loading equals lazy HTML on the old version. So if I say loading equals lazy, defer loading image until some conditions are met. Okay. So it does seem like, though, this doesn't really seem 146. 140. That does seem faster, right? We were at like 1.9 before. Now we're at like 1.4. 1.1 now. Maybe this is just really inconsistent. 1.4. So I guess this doesn't really seem like it's changing anything. It could that be that the lazy loading is like not triggering if they're far? Maybe. Just check out CSS sprites. And now I'm kind of curious if you can do poster.loading equals lazy here and see any benefit. Refresh. We need to run the server, of course. Of course. What the fuck? Is this not working? Network error, trying to fetch resource. Oh, it's because it's generating the image still. I see. Right. I forgot I deleted the stuff. Okay. So I don't think the lazy loading is doing anything here either. Why are all of these offsets wrong though? That's kind of fucking bothering me. Definitely bothering me. So maybe we open the image and open the metadata. XDG open merged. Well, I guess we have, yeah, XDG open merged PNG. Does this let me, if I hover on here? No, it doesn't. Can I GIMP merge PNG? Okay. And if I hover over these, does somewhere tell me where I am in pixels? It does. Okay, so now we can look at jq.meta-merge.json. Okay. And then we can maybe, I guess we have to open up SQLite browser to look at the database to correlate images. So if we want to look for, it doesn't work because it is just one image, right? I mean, I think that we should be setting the correct offset for each one. I think. So we should be... Oh, are you saying like the lazy loading doesn't work because it's just one image? But I mean, in the case when we went back, it didn't really seem to be doing a lot on the original case either, where we were loading all of them at once. True detective. So true detective is 98. And so 98 in here thinks it's 20370 offset. So if I go to true detective in here and I say here, I am at 19529. And what is at where it said it was? I lost it already. Fuck. 20370. What is that? 20370. So if we look at true detective, we're getting neither of so we're not getting either the correct thing or what I would think that we're getting based off of the offsets in here, which is pretty funny. That's fucked up. Let me double check that like this shows 0 over here. Okay, let's go back to setting 0, 0 everywhere and seeing if that makes sense to us. So if I say 0, 0 everywhere. Oopsies. And then refresh. We should be getting the first poster everywhere, which is correct. And let's just say, like, where's Futurama offset in here? He's like at around like 210. So if I set 210 here, oopsies, fuck, I don't have to restart this every time. Fuck, wrong thing. Okay, so that's a good clue, is that going 210 off is not doing what we expect here. Very surprising, to be honest. Is it going the wrong way? Is it wrapping around? It does kind of look like that, eh? Okay, so that's fucked up. So I actually have to go backwards, I guess. So I actually want to do like negative plus left plus px. But like, why? Who fucking knows? But at least these posters are like the correct posters now, which is a really good sign. they're not the right size though, which is again kind of confusing. Because the width by height looks like they should match the images, because here we have like 295 tall and 210 wide. So why is this like width and height not doing what I expect? Inspect. Probably because I'm not setting the the style width and height here like I'm supposed to. And probably I need to set the unit as well. Okay, still not good. Probably there's some other like styling shit that's going on here. Because they're like limited to their parent width or something. Probably. But I don't know how much I want to debug stupid fucking CSS styling things. I think that we've kind of proven. Could it be a zoom scaling issue? I think that there's oh, like if I like go back to 100%. No, it doesn't look like it. I think it's something to do with like the flex, like these things are in these like cards that have like widths here. I bet you if I say 210 pix here, now that looks okay. So I like reduce the width in like the parent element, and then like they're not scaling correctly when they like get set in there. There's probably just some attribute I need to set, but it does look like the concept worked. Right, we refresh here and we go from, we about like half it. I think we were at like 1.4 seconds before. Now we're down to like 750 milliseconds. So I am happy with the concept. Now, of course, the fact that this is like 23 megabytes transferred versus like the 4 transferred before probably will impact this even more. Maybe not, but it could be that like the image format that I'm saving in is like larger in bytes, and maybe making it smaller again would like improve this again. Not really sure. Okay, maybe can I like increase compression? Well, can I like write to can I write to, let's see. If I go back into my app RS, and maybe if I try to like write JPEGs that are like compressed more heavily, image in docs.rs. Like if I write save buffer, well, let's just like, I wonder if I just write a JPEG at all, if that will improve anything. So this should be the image path, and we can just write JPEG here. Should also be image path. Okay, no one else is trying to use merge.ping directly. So I wonder if that will just be different. I wonder. Okay, let's try going back to the TV tracker and refresh. It's going to take a long time because it has to regenerate the mega image, but it's fine. So this is 4 megabytes transferred. Okay. Oh, hell yeah, that's way faster. We're down to 193 milliseconds for the whole thing. 200. That's way faster. Okay, that's definitely fucking worth it. Definitely worth it. Before, when I was like 2x speed up, I was like maybe not, but like that's like a 7x speed up. That's crazy. Wait, what did you just change? I changed the image format that it was being saved in. So I was saving it as a PNG before, which are like lossless and I guess weren't being compressed very well. So I just changed the extension to JPEG so that I would get like that like nasty JPEG compression again. But now the like, we were seeing like 23 megabytes transferred before, and now it's down to like 3.6. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. I don't think there's anything really much more interesting to do on stream there. I think that's like really the, like this is like a little fucked up looking, but I think me fiddling with CSS attributes lost like a fucking lost dog is not interesting. So I think I'm gonna call it there. Pretty happy with that performance improvement. So just to recap, we took what was before individual image posters for each of these guys, and they were being loaded individually, and we were seeing like maybe like 1.5 seconds before the whole page was rendered. We took those images and we just like packed them all together into like one super image, and we said, please load that instead. And that seems to increase our speeds by a fuck ton. By like, you know, we're on the when they're cached, it's like 200 milliseconds now, which is sick. Yeah, so just using a little bit of like CSS sprite sheets. Let's try setting object fit fill on the poster. I'm sure I'll be able to figure it out. I just don't want to like I don't want to fuck with it right now. So I think next steps would be to the image that I'm generating is like not being like cached correctly, right? I just kind of like hard coded its position, so I'm gonna have to do something like Rust cleanup to kind of like get everything in the right spot. And track that state a little better, and then fix the CSS bullshit on the front end. But I think I'll do that off stream. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked what you saw, I stream most days at around 1 or 2 Pacific time for 1 or 2 hours. If you miss a stream, there's a YouTube link in the Twitch description where all the VODs go up. And if you're watching on YouTube, you should swing by on Twitch and say hi. Let's see, what else? This code will end up on GitHub. I just need to do a little bit of, I need to pretty it up, fix the bullshit, make it look good, and then it'll go up. There's a Discord link and a GitHub link in the Twitch description. Discord, you can get like announcements of when I'm going to go live a little bit ahead of time, and you could chat about programming in there when the stream's offline. And GitHub is for projects will go up there. I think that's 5 to plug. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.